What's good? This is Nerve, and you're watching Take Flight.
Hey, yo, what's good? It's your boy Wings and 24 Karat Kev.
Hello.
And you're tapped into the Take Flight podcast, bro. Today, it's the Base 8 Bandit. Yeah, it's Mr. Walk and Talk. It's Brizzy's finest, and I ain't got a problem with saying it. Nerve in the building today.
Woo!
Come on, brother.
Thank you.
Nerve in the building.
Nerve in the building.
Warm welcome. I love that. How you
Come on.
doing?
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, thanks you, bro. I'm happy to be back in Sydney, man. It's been a minute. Like, just happy to be out here chatting. I've been here and there and kind of like, you know, laying low on socials and shit. So it's cool to get back in the mix and
Get
have
your
a
voice
yarn.
back out there, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Get your voice
bro,
back
100%.
out there. And I know
Yeah.
you can talk a whole lot of shit too, bro. I
Yeah.
saw that Dem One's podcast that went
you
for
did.
40 hours or something,
Yeah, that
bro.
went for ages, bro. I was so hungover that day as well. I was just like trying to make the most out of the buzz I was on, like right then. You know what I mean?
It worked, bro.
Yeah,
It
it
worked.
was good.
All right.
It was good.
Like you said, bro, you've been away for a bit. I heard you've been traveling around a little bit.
Yeah.
How was it? And how's it feel to be back in Australia, bro?
Yeah, it was nice, man. At the end of the day, like coming back to Australia, I always feel grateful. I feel like it's always nice to come back. The food here is sick. The coffee here is the best. And yeah, I'm just keen to like drop new music and get busy. You know what I mean? It's not always nice to like reset. And I got some stuff in the pipeline for like everyone. I'm probably sitting on like more music and more videos than I ever have been. So that's something for everyone to look forward to. You know what I mean? And everyone that's been supporting me like while I've been, you know, like on the DL a little bit. But yeah, it's good to be back. I'm ready to like jump into shit. Obviously that's why I'm here, you know what I mean? And yeah, just keen to get cracking with it, you know?
Let's go, bro.
Yeah.
Talking about your overseas adventures, you obviously shot different Dubai.
Oh yeah.
You just dropped Paris.
Yes.
Yeah. What's it like getting overseas, shooting these videos? And like, I don't know, are you getting amongst the music world over there at all?
Not so much. I think I was just like there to do my thing and like enjoy myself. I didn't want to like make it, you know, too, like I didn't want to be over there getting like too mixy with it just because like I was following the food, bro. You know what I mean? Like I was just there to eat, man. And
Bro,
like,
that's the best thing you could do.
yeah,
Come
yeah. And like the
on.
older I get, the more I just like kind of hone in on like my shit. And, you know, like I'm getting like, I can't be out till like 3 a.m. networking in clubs and shit. You know what I mean? Like like I definitely did do that and like don't underestimate like how good that can be for your career, especially if you're young and you're out here. But like I was there for the food and to like, you know, get some content in and do my thing. And there's some stuff coming in the pipeline. So like, yeah, that's basically the vibe.
So when you're overseas, just like pumping like your own tracks or different Oz rap stuff, were other people just spinning out? Like, were they just like, what is this accent and why does he sound like this?
Yeah, I guess like I did have chats with this one dude that was from like Sweden and shit before I went over there, and like he was part of the reason that I like went to Paris in the first place because they had like a festival and shit over there, and he was more just like spinning out at the beats I was sending him because obviously like, you know, people know I produce and some people don't know I produce.
If you don't know Nerve producers, come on, bro.
I spend like all of my time on that shit, you know what I mean? And like I was just, I don't know, I started chatting to this guy. I met him through Mal, Miko Mal. Now Miko Mal.
Miko, come on.
AKA.
And yeah, he like linked me with this dude and I sent him like 20 beats and he was like, bro. he was like, he was spinning out because he was like, you sent me like 20 beats and I downloaded like 18 of them. You know what I mean? Like you send someone a pack of beats and it's like most of the time you just never hear back, especially if it's over the net. So I think like, you know, obviously the Australian accent and the Australian culture can be like a bit abrasive for people that are just used to like Europe or American shit. But where it always cuts through for me is the beats because I'm very confident in like what I can do in that aspect, you know, and also with the raps and shit, but you know what I mean? That's not everyone's cup of tea.
100%.
So yeah, like I think like, yeah, definitely like filming like rap videos and shit in front of like the Eiffel Tower. Like, but man, like there's people there doing way crazier shit than that. Like,
Bro, last time I pulled up at the Eiffel Tower, the only time I pulled up at the Eiffel Tower.
Last week, yeah.
Come on, man. There was this lady just on all fours, right? But I'm not talking like a dog. I'm talking like this, walking around in circles.
oh, like doing the tabletop shit.
Yeah,
that's
I don't
crazy.
know what the fuck was going on, bro.
Yeah, contortionist shit, bro.
Yeah, that.
It's crazy. Yeah, like even if you watch the Paris video, go watch the shit. If you watch it, like you can see in the background at the end, there's like wedding photographers, there's people doing TikTok dances. Mind you, it was 6 a.m. Like, you know what I mean? It was early, first thing in the morning.
Everyone wanted that empty area, but obviously not empty.
Yeah, exactly. So like, you know, and like same thing with like, I'm not going to disclose, like there's more videos coming. Obviously, I'm not going to disclose exactly where they're at, but like, actually one of the spots I ran into a fan. So that was actually pretty mad because I was like, I'm in Europe and like running into fans and shit. So I was like, cool, Nerve Worldwide. You know what I mean? So that was sick. But yeah, just like, you know, getting over there, doing the do, but like it's nothing I'm not used to, because I remember back in 2017, like me and Wombat running through Melbourne City at 9 a.m. on a Friday, right outside the biggest train station, just spitting run that shit off a Bluetooth speaker. Like I'm used to just focusing on the camera and not giving a shit about what's going on around me, because you got to get the job done. You know what I mean?
To that, bro.
Yeah. So no, it was sick though. It was a good experience.
And speaking of, you know, you and Wombat doing your thing back in the day, how you came up, bro? You spat a lot of, you know, ciphers, freestyles, all of that, one takes, bro.
Yeah.
Paris was obviously just that. Again, if you haven't seen it, go stream.
Yeah.
Watch the video.
Let's go.
How's it feel getting back to that vibe again, bro? Look, obviously, we said this on the Chill podcast just past. Raps feel to be coming back, bro.
Yeah, everyone
is rapping out here or trying to.
Yeah.
How's it feel for you to see it going back that way and you jumping on board?
I like it going back that way because like that's where it started. And I think like you know, there's been definitely an evolution of like hip hop as a genre, you know what I mean? Like when I started rapping, it was still like, you know, I was like 18, 19 going to house parties in like Queenslanders, and someone would be like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, like I work at a burger shop and like I make music. And they're like, what type of music? And I'm like, fuck. Right.
Not this conversation again,
like,
bro.
I'll be like, oh, like I'm a producer, and they're like, oh, what type? And I'm like, hip hop, and they're like, oh, show me some, and then it's like, obviously I'm rapping on it too. You know what I mean? Like, people would like clown you and shit, but then like, you know, hip hop became the top genre in the world, and then also like, you know, you had big artists, you had the come up of all the Get Bodied shit, you had 1-4, and then it became cool and shit to be a rapper. And like that, you know what I mean? So like I had to push. I was doing like years of free gigs at cafes, rapping in like, you know, you're not even on stage. You're in like a cafe. Someone's got to walk through the stage to go to the fucking toilet, and you're there spitting like crazy bars for like 10 minutes, bro, scaring all the people, man. Like we had to do that for years to get noticed. And now it's like everyone's there. And I think like we had to cut our teeth on some rough shows. So like, when it got more popular in Australia, I think it got more glitzy and glammy, and you got people like, you know, there's all types of lanes in Australia. You got people doing like real high, like production value shit, you know, like sort of mimicking the States, and then you got like heavy drill shit. But for it to come back to like, you know, as Chill said, just like bars on beats and just spitting, like at the end of the day, for hip hop fans that want to see hip hop, that's the core. And like, that's actually what got me into grime, because I was like a full purist OG 90s hip hop head. And I remember when I started, I was like, man, if it's not sampled off like vinyl, fuck that shit. Like, you know, I didn't like any new school trap shit, whatever. And then someone showed me a grime set on like Rinse FM. And I was like, what the fuck is this, bro? It was like 3 young dudes just going back to back to back to back to back. And it was on beats that like used all the new school drum sounds that I thought I didn't like. So then I realized like, you know, you can spit crazy shit over anything, you know what I mean? And I think like my shit's always been like quite lyrical and like,
bro, I'm going to say early on in here, everyone's heard it on Take Flight before, but I rate you as one of the best rappers in Australia, and I don't give a fuck. I'm not scared to say it.
Thank you.
So yeah,
you
bro.
shouldn't be scared to say it.
No, look, trust. I'll say that and I'll get 30 other rappers saying, oh, he's the best in Australia, huh? Come on.
Of course.
But no,
competitive sport.
To be honest, big fan. And it's good to see you doing this thing, bro. Kev said this before on the podcast. What's the one that took off, the one take that you're standing on the rooftop?
Oh, rapper tag.
Oh yeah, that actually did go pretty crazy.
Yeah, like just being able to do that and gain the numbers that it can, it just shows, you know, that your skill is there, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And also shout outs to 360 for tagging me in that shit, because that was like, you know, that was a big deal. I remember like when he tagged me, I was like, oh fuck, all right, got to do this shit. And it was good because it was like a kick in the bum, man. Like, because you know, sometimes like all I really need is like a laptop, bro, because I do all the shit, and like not even to just like blow smoke out my own ass, you know what I mean? But like it's sometimes good to just have someone be like, boom, I've tagged you. You've got fucking like, you know, 24, 48 hours to knock this thing together. And I was in Melbourne at the time. So I just like made a beat, went to Posse Shot Studio, knocked the shit out, hit up Dents, fucking climbed up a building, you know, jumped on top and rapped the shit. And then like that's it. Like, you know, and it was like a one take video. The homie shot it. I've done clips that cost me fucking more than I care to mention. And they didn't go as well as that. So yeah, like exactly what you guys are talking about, like jumping out somewhere, getting a beat, spitting bars. Like at the end of the day, that's what hip hop fans want to see. And that's where the shit came from, you know? So it is nice to see it coming back. And like, you can add flair to it here and there, but at the core, like it's yeah, like you said, it's a competitive sport in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? And like you can go like, you know, obviously I did my Wasted. I've done like other shit where I like went a bit more poppy, but like the core fan base that rode with us through the Get Bodied in the 2017, 18, 19 was like, they want to see you spit some shit. And like, that's, I think we're trying to tap into that again, you know? Like I definitely, as an artist, you always want to experiment and you want to try things, but like, it's really nice to connect with the core fan base. And like Chill said, the collab that we've got coming up is like just straight back to back, like bars, bro. Like no hook, just fucking no frills, just bars. And just like we're competing with each other on the one track. Like that's how we started, is like he'll send me some shit, I'll be like, that's crazy, I gotta burn him. And then I'll send him back my thing and he's like, I gotta burn this guy. And then we ended up just like there's bars on the track that we do together where like we both helped write the same bar. You know what I mean? Like it got that competitive that we just ended up working together on lyrics. You know what I mean? And like then it came out sick.
But see, that's what I think Australia has needed, bro, because the competitive. Kev's just fixing up the hair. What a guy. Manager Kev on point.
Yeah,
Come on, bro. But it's
right?
good to see the competitiveness coming back, because I don't think, look, I feel like the competitive just went, I can't even say it, bro. Competitiveness just came from like, oh, who can do the best video, or who can do the biggest vibe, or who can get the most numbers.
Yeah.
But forgot about the rap for a few years. Not everyone, I'm not saying everyone, but there was a big portion of the country that did.
Yeah, man, I think like also, you know, just like 2019, 2020 was like who can be the scariest as well. You know
Exactly
what I mean?
what I mean.
And I'm not out here trying to convince like my fans that if they see me in the street, I'm going to stab the fuck out of them. You know what I mean? Like I just want to make good music.
Amen,
you
bro.
know, and like obviously like everyone's got their story to tell. So like I'm not really trying to compete with anybody. And like I'm just trying to compete with myself, and that's so corny, but like it's the mindset to have, you know what I mean? Like you know, when we were coming up, like I remember Chill telling me like the story of like why horses have like blinders on them when they race, you know what I mean? Everyone says that shit because if they look to the horse to the right or the left of them, they fall over and they lose the shit. So like yeah, that's why I've just got my head down at the moment. I'm just making as much music as I possibly can. Obviously, like building fucking studios for 2 years. Like,
Let's go. We'll talk about that studio. Don't worry, bro.
Yeah, but you know, just trying to get it done, man, and like work on as much music as I can, even if it's not mine. Like obviously, you know, in the studio producing for other artists, like, you know, I live and breathe like music shit is what I want to do every single day. So I don't really care like what capacity. You know, I'm learning how to fucking edit music videos. Like I might end up directing next year. Like who knows?
Come on.
Yeah, like I'm trying to just branch out, you know?
Amen,
Yeah.
bro.
100%. Nerve Paris, it's out now. If you haven't watched the video, stream it, run it up, whatever. The funniest thing about that video is though, like, these poor cunts, they're getting married. It's 6 a.m. on their wedding day.
And I'm like, don't call that girl your girl. She's not. Close friend story. Connect the dots.
Yeah, there's some Aussie cunts spitting in front of their Eiffel Tower shop. But if you're out there, he apologizes.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
No, you don't. You just mentioned Chill. Obviously, he said you guys have got the hardest boom bap track in the country about to come out. But you also did some production work for him. So how was it to kind of, you know, work with him on a close basis again?
It was really dope. I think like when we all came up, it was such a whirlwind of energy. Like, you know, like he said, like talking about the Captain Cook whatever hotel show that we did like back in 2018, and like those times, like we were so young, bro, and like there was no managers, there was no bookers. It was like, yo, I booked this pub, we're doing a show there. I'm pretty sure that like, I don't even know if like people, feel like it was almost free or it was like cheap tickets, bro. Like it was just like, we were there. You know, we were all out there out of our own pockets. We just wanted to rap on stage with people, man. Like when I was happy to rap in front of 10 people, and like I would die happy. And then as soon as I rapped in front of 10 people, I was like, I need to rap in front of 50 people, and then I'll die happy. And like, that's where we were. So like, I think shit was just crazy flying everywhere, you know, like people just doing heaps of shows. Everyone's collabing all the time. The energy was nuts. And then like, obviously, everyone's still got to go on with life. We can't just be like rappers 24/7 and like, you know, live that life and just bender. Like, so between then and now, like a lot's happened. Obviously, he's got a family. He's got, you know, a girl. He's got a kid. And I've like, you know, I've been doing my thing. Like I'm not that far along, but like, you know, life is moving and we're both older. So it's nice to come back and sort of make music in a more structured setting. Like I've got my own studio. Like I've built a studio. He's built a family. He's coming in and like we're focused, you know, like I think, you know, back then the energy was crazy because we've got like 12 people in a room all rapping at each other until 5 a.m. You know what I mean? But now it's like, this is work. Like it's 9 to 5. Like you come in, we got this to work on. We're working all day. We're coming up with ideas. We're coming up with branding stuff. We're working on this mixtape, this and that. Like just collaborating and like it legitimizes the whole thing. It feels like I got a real job, you know. Like for a long time, I think being a musician, you get imposter syndrome. I remember like 2019, 2020, getting attention from labels and they put you in a studio up in Sydney. Mind you, I'm a Brisbane kid, man. Like it's slower in Brisbane. We're chilling. Like I was probably one of the most turbo people there, and that's how I got to, you know, the big smoke and shit, you know. But like I get put in a studio in Sydney and it's like a multi-million-dollar studio and I'm like, I get imposter syndrome, you know. But like when it's your own studio and you're in a structured environment and you're both just like working towards a common goal, that's the shit I like. And I think the older I get, the more I like producing for other artists, because I can only sit here and push myself to try and be the best, or like big note myself and say I'm the best for so long. It's easier for me to see potential in someone else and get in the studio and say, okay, how can I sit down today and convince this person that they're the best artist in the world and help them make a song feeling like they're the best artist in the world and leave the studio with a banger that they're happy with. Because like that feels like less selfless to me. And obviously I've still got to buy in. Like if I produce a banger for someone and it's a hit, then I'm going to get my kick back too. But like it's nice to be able to help someone else while also like helping yourself. Like I can't just be in a room by myself all day being like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna make all the hits. Like it's nice to make friends and work together on a common goal, you know. So it's been sick.
That's exactly right, bro. And that's the thing a lot of people would find it hard to do, is take a step back, because as an artist, you're obviously the face, the limelight, everyone's coming towards you. But being able to be that involved in the background and, you know, feel that same happiness, bro.
Yeah.
The happiness is there, and it doesn't have to be just a producer. There's so many different like journeys you can take in the music world to help. And I don't know if we talk about this later, Kev, I can't remember. But there's so many journeys you can take here that people don't realize, that they just think they have to be that it guy or that it artist. But bro, we can grow this shit like crazy if 100%. Everyone plays a different role, man.
100%. And it's nice. And like even just talking about it now, it's made me realize, like, you know, if I was just rapping, and like obviously it's fine to like just be rapping if you're not into like fucking buying a expensive ass computer and trying to fucking make beats on it and make videos on it. But like if I was just rapping, you know, who knows, I might be looking at Chill's success and be like, fuck man, like I want what he has. But like because of the skill set I've got, I'd be like, I can be a part of what he has, or I can be a part of what another artist has, because I can help them make their craft even better. And like when I see another artist, it's, you know, maybe when I was younger, I'd see other artists coming up and I'd be like, fuck that shit. Like I need to make better shit. But instead I can hit them up and be like, yo, let me help you. Like, let me work on your stuff. Let me produce for you, you know, send them beats. Like, you know, and now like I've got a studio. So if an artist is in Brisbane, I can be like, yo, come through the studio. Let's work on some shit. So yeah, I just think like, you know, you just got to expand that tool belt, you know, so.
Amen to that, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Hey, on top of producing, like you've said 100 times already on this pod, bro, you built your own studio.
Let's go.
2 years. Is that what you said? 2 years to build it?
Bro, like it's a crazy story, man. Like basically, I don't have the exact timeline, but we spent, me and Smack, along with our friends Dan and Sean, we spent a long time building a studio on the north side of Brizzy. And when I say building a studio, I don't mean like fitting out one room. I mean like we built the walls that held that shit up. We tiled the floors. We built the floors. We got a shipping container and stuck it to the side of the building by ramming it with a ute and fucking built the shit on, right? We spent like 9 months, 12 months building this shit. And like a matter of months after we got it ready to record and produce in, we had the 2021 floods and everything was underwater in 20 minutes. So like that was fucking heartbreaking for all of us, man. But like at the end of the day, like not try to bring up a sob story, but it was a lot of work. Like I spent 9 to 12 months instead of making music that I could have been making, I was fucking doing like, you know, dodgy, chippy shit and trying to build a building. And we had like, you know, it was very like non-compliant, you know what I mean? Very non-compliant. But yeah, like, and then, you know, obviously it flooded and, you know, we had to clean that shit up and it was no good. Like, you know, in those floods, it was like 20 minutes from, you know, there to here underwater, like managed to save like a bunch of studio gear, nearly lost my car. Like it was hectic. And like, and our friend Dan, like he lost the most and, you know, we had to start a GoFundMe, get some money back for him. But, you know, as you always have to be in any industry or just in life in general, you have to be resilient. And now, you know, me and Smack have got our own studio. Dan and Sean have got their own studio. And I think we've both moved on to bigger and better things. And we're both on the second story.
Let's go.
Yeah. So we're not fucking
no more
flooding
floods,
again, bro.
No
Yeah.
more floods.
So yeah, basically like I say that to say like finally, I'm just happy like finally we've got a studio and a place that we can call home and that other people can call home and so do they. And like, you know, like I said, it just adds to being able to look after and help other artists and help ourselves, you know. So yeah, I mean, if I really got into it, I could talk about it for years. But at the end of the day, I'm just grateful for what we've got. And yeah, shout out Smack and the Base 8. Like, look us up. If you're in Brisbane and you need studio time, hit my boy up. Hit up Base 8 Studio.
I was going to shout it out. Don't even got to do it. Tell him, bro.
And,
Tell him.
hit up Dan Bones. Hit up Sean. Hit up Sledgehammer. And yeah, bro, like we're just trying to turn this music shit into like a real life thing. You know what I mean? And like. And just make it work.
Come on, that's it, bro. And look, you said you've got a bunch of artists rolling through already. Have you seen a bunch of new talent coming through that you haven't heard of before?
Like well, I mean, Big Sound obviously is happening in Brisbane. So unfortunately, I'm not there for it, but there's a whole lot of talent coming through. And, you know, I think I keep my head down a lot of the time. I think like Smack works a lot with like new and upcoming artists and stuff, but we're always working and always networking with new artists. Obviously, we work quite closely with ECB as well, and like that is like I love those boys, man. They're so talented, and to have all that talent in like blood brothers in one family is insane. And like I don't take it lightly. Like, you know, every time we get the chance to work with them, it's great. And like, I've got some stuff in the pipeline with them as well. So go check them out if you haven't heard of them.
Let's go, Nerve,
you know,
ECB.
ECB.
Shout out to ECB for their latest song. Can't remember the name.
By the way.
Hard.
Produced by Smack. Banger, bro.
Come on.
And yeah, we've got some stuff in the pipeline too that I'm really happy and looking forward to release. I'm happy with that. But yeah, just like, you know, we're happy to be working on all sorts of stuff. You know, I worked on Station's project in there and, you know, a bunch of other artists. I've been doing sessions and everything. But yeah, it's just good to have a spot that we can call home and get work done, man.
Hey, man, Base 8 Studio. Tap in. You already just gave a mad cosign at ECB, but is there anyone else around Australia that might not be as known just yet that you want to throw a cosign on right now, bro?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, ECB, everyone in the collective. I mean, they're probably pretty well known now, but I have really been enjoying like what Moses and Tactics have been doing, and like obviously they smashed up the freestyle here.
Yeah, the boys, bro. If you haven't seen Moses and Tactics Sky Session, God, that went crazy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bro.
And I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like, you know, that's the type of stuff that reminds me of like 2017, 18, like the come up, like the chemistry and like you know, like all of that stuff. You know, I've been seeing Skucks, bro.
Oh, come on, Skucks taking the internet by storm last week, bro.
Like, man, like I don't even know that much about it, but like I was on like the last week, my For You page on TikTok, it's just like fucking
that track, bro.
And it's like, it's funny because it's like, it's not even necessarily like videos of him. It's just people being like, what the fuck is this song? And it's like him in the background. He's like, twos, man. I'm like, this is so
throwaway
funny,
bars, bro. That's it. Like I went, you know, you could check the sound and see all the videos.
Yeah.
It's the most random videos ever, bro. But
crazy.
It blew up to #1 trending.
That's crazy.
This guy, like the cover art, can I just quickly say? It's not even in a square. It's like quick, like rectangle cover art with black background. #5 on the ARIA charts, bro.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It reminds me, the thing it reminds me of is kind of like the cursor come up where it's like, there's like just as much, well, I don't know about just as much, but like there's a lot of hate and a lot of love, and it's it's a explosive concoction, and like I just like watching it happen, man.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily condone or not condone any of it. I'm just like watching it, going like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like the music game is nuts, bro, and like it's just funny to see it all happen. And I think like when I was younger, it felt like there weren't that many outlets for things to blow up. And now it's like, obviously you got Take Flight, and like props, because you guys have a sick platform, and like I really respect that.
My guy.
And then you've got like dudes just like, posting like throwaway bars and
Literally.
blowing up on TikTok, and like, it's just sick to see. And then I think one of my favorite things is being able to see like diverse characters in the scene, and maybe even people that don't rap, like, like you guys, and you got like crazy stuff going on, like people reacting to stuff. And like it was lonely back, man, and props to the people before us, because it would have been even lonelier then, but like obviously you've had like your Goombag radios, and you've had all your different platforms, but like I just like to see more diversity and more light being shined on stuff. You've got reactors, you've got like, I want to see someone do like mad parodies. I want our like Unknown P. You know how in the UK you got like your Michael Dapper and like all that. I want to see that start to happen in Australia.
Bro, there is
too.
such a spot for that right now, man.
Absolutely. And like, I think the scene, it's still small, bro. We've only got like 20 something million people here. Like the hip hop scene is small. But like just the more stuff that's being said, the better it is for everyone. And that's why like obviously when I first saw like, Take Flight, like posting, like you were on shit, like it felt like you were everywhere, because like you see some shit go on social media, and then you had a screen grab of it with the Take Flight thing, and it's like like the first thing I saw, I think, was like the Chilling It Live like arrest in Hurstville.
Oh yeah,
and
bro,
like,
what a time that was.
Yeah.
Can I just say that happened the day before mine and Chill's first interview came out as
That's
well.
crazy. That's crazy. And like just being able to do something or see something happen and be like, that's going to be on Take Flight, or like that's going to be on like this and that and this and that, and it's like it means people care and people are watching, and like I don't care who they're watching, I don't care who cares, it's good for everybody. Like, I can't stand here and be like, oh, like I wish they posted me more. It's like they're posting people, everyone's up. You know what I mean? Like everyone's up. There's space for everybody to win. So like as long as there's a lot of eyes on the scene, that's good for everybody.
Facts, bro.
You just got to pull your weight and get your attention.
That's the thing. Everyone's just got to do their own thing, bro.
Yeah,
you know
facts.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And stop projecting onto everyone else. But anyway, bro, it's all good.
Shade.
Come on. Moving on from there, bro. You've always been since I've seen you, been a proud ambassador for Brisbane, bro.
Yeah, shout out.
You've always been nerve from Brizzy to me. I don't know why, but it's just come across that way since the start.
Yeah,
but it's cool, bro. You rep it hard.
Yeah,
around 2017, bro, Brisbane really seemed to be really up there, bro.
Yeah.
Really up there. Recently, you got Castile, you got the boys Lissy, Knox going crazy with it up there.
Absolutely.
How do you view the Brisbane landscape right now?
The Brisbane, shit, fuck, I'm going to break
First
this
guest
thing,
to pull out the mic live on there. Come on, bro.
breaking
All
mics.
good, all good.
Yeah, let me just fucking clean
Yeah,
up.
what did you do to this?
I don't know. I just wanted
Just
to like
lifted it, bro. It's all good. Don't
I
worry
gotta
about
build
it, bro.
another studio now, bro. That's crazy.
I'm not even cutting this, bro.
Anyway, but yeah, the Brizzy scene.
Wait till you fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
Cut it out.
Is it magnetic?
I just got to clip in on the sides. You got it? It's all good, bro.
Cable. Oh, there you go.
got it. You got it.
Yeah, the Brizzy landscape. I mean, like I said, like I keep my head down, and I'm also everywhere all the time. Like I take a lot of trips to Melbourne, take a lot of trips to Sydney. I like working with all sorts of people. So like, I think post-COVID, it's been tough to feel like a really strong like community presence, just in the sense of like in person. Like in 2018, 2019, I was doing like, story call outs and filming clips with fans in the middle of the city and shit. And I feel like it's a bit less prevalent now just because of, I don't know, like, things are moving very much online. But obviously like there's crazy pockets of talent in Brisbane, the Castile crew, Knox, Lissy, there's shit popping up everywhere. So I think for me, I don't think of it so much as like a city by city thing or like an area by area thing. I just take it how it comes, and I just like working with whoever's around or in town. Obviously like I shout out ECB and like JK and everything, but they're not strictly Brisbane. They're from the coast. So I think it's just like, You know, we got our pocket, we work on our shit. The older I get, the more I like hone into like, you know, my little bubble. But I definitely like to branch out and work with whoever, and it doesn't really matter like where they're from, as long as I see something that I think has legs.
Amen.
You know, I like to help them run. So yeah.
I think there's some big potential from up your way anyway.
Absolutely.
To be honest, I've seen a bunch of artists coming out. I think once consistency punches through a bit more, I think you're going to have a bunch of like a Ruckus coming from out of breezy Gold Coast.
And it'd be good to see other things like, you know, you got your G'd up in Sydney, you got your Judah in Melbourne. It'd be nice to see like a brand come out of Brizzy, or like there probably is some already that maybe I don't know about, or maybe I should be saying right now. But like it'd be good to see just a bit more of everything popping up and just happening. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
Yeah. So, but you know, a lot of stuff's online these days. So I think that could be like a good thing and a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's oversaturated, but at the same time, you've got a platform where you could blow shit up immediately. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard one, that one, bro. Speaking of Nox 100 times just then,
Yeah.
bro, your collab with Nox on Walk and Talk.
Yeah, man.
Tell us about how that linked up, bro.
That's actually a good story. I think I work well with deadlines, and I like to like put deadlines on myself because I work a bit better like when I know I got to get some shit done. That's just Capricorn in me, man. But yeah, I remember, you know, I think Kev's like, man, we got to get this shit, like we got to get this EP done. We got to get it dusted. And I was like, all right, well, I better pull 3 songs out of my ass this week or something. You know what I mean? And I was like, I need another Walk and Talk. And I remember I just woke up and I made myself a strong coffee, and I woke up in the morning and I just said to myself, I'm going to make a fucking banger of a beat, and I'm going to write some crazy shit, and that's going to be that. And then I had a coffee, I opened up my laptop, I made a slapper of a beat, and I wrote like, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 bars, and it felt like I was done. You know, I could have written more, made it a full, you know, I don't know, 100 or something, but I just felt like I was done. And I was sitting there and I was like rapping it to myself. It was probably still like pretty early in the morning, and I was done, but it's not done. Like I'm done, but the track's not done. And I know me and Nox have messaged a bunch of times just being like, yeah, I fuck with your shit, let's link. And everyone, you know, you can say that all you want, but like you have to fucking make the shit happen, right? You have to actually link. Like I can't even count how many people that I would love to work with where it's just never happened, because like you have to do it. And like, that's no shade. It's just like, you know, you got to make a date and a time, and you got to make shit happen. So I figured if I'm going to make this happen, I got to be direct. So I think I messaged him on Instagram and I just said, yo, what's your number? Instead of being like, yo, let's work, fire emoji. I was like, what's your number? You know what I mean? And he was like, and I almost wanted it to sound like something was wrong, just so like I could actually get onto him. So I was like, yo, what's your number? And he just sent me his number. And he's like, yo, and then I just called him immediately and I was like, what's up? And he's like, and we've never spoken like, except for IG and shit. And he's like, yo, I'm just like, you know, with a mate, like he was just hanging out. And I was like, I just wrote, I was like, oh, you know, Walk and Talk. And he's like, yeah, but I like watched all of them, blah, 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 like they're sick. And I was like, yeah, well, I just wrote like the new one. And I want you to be on it. And he was like, I could tell like he definitely kept his cool, but he told me later, he was like, holy shit, like his mate that was with him was a big fan. He was like, fuck, that's crazy. And I just like had just finished writing it and just finished making the beat, and I just rapped the entire thing to him on the phone, because I wasn't going to be like, oh, I'll send you a Dropbox link. I was like, no, like I just wrote it, I'm feeling it, this is what it sounds like. So I played the beat and I just rapped the whole thing to him and just went like, let's go, can you get me a verse tomorrow? And he was like, what the fuck, like crazy. But I was like, you have 24 hours. And like,
he turned it around.
He turned it around, bro. And he turned it around. And when I got the verse back, I was like, fuck,
bro,
I have to rewrite my shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that 24 hours, like, I reckon if I told him, oh, just like get it done when you can, it wouldn't happen. Because like if I gave myself, I got up that morning and I went, I got to make a crazy beat. I got to write some crazy shit. And if I don't, then this EP is not going to get done, and it's not going to be as good as it could be. And then I just was like, yeah, you got 24 hours to do this shit.
Can I just say, I think that has to be one of Nox's hardest verses, not taken away from any of his other songs, but
it was slapper.
Bro, from the second he comes in, I don't know the exact couple of words unless you got the song playing in the background, but bro, hard.
It was a slapper. And just to have that be like the first link up, like, you know, it was dope. And like, he like, I just came at it in a way that was like, this is business. Like, you got 24 hours, like, let's make it happen. He did. Boom, shot the video, dropped it, sick. You know, and like, I've had people do that to me as well, and it brought the best out of me, you know?
And can I just say, bro, like, as much as I agree with people who are like, yeah, I don't like doing collabs unless it comes about naturally, unless we're just chilling or something. This just shows that, you know, you don't have to be just chilling with someone. And like, you can reach out to someone because you think their voice is going to slap on this track, or they got bars. Anyway.
But no, exactly what you say. But also, I kind of made it happen naturally in a way. Like, instead of just being like, here's a Dropbox folder of beats, like, send me a verse when you can. I was like, yo, like,
listen to
let's
this.
fucking do it. You know what I mean? And I don't think I've really ever done that. I was just, I don't know, I must have been fucking caffeined up, ready to go. You know what I mean? And that is like, when the best shit happens, I think when you're not thinking. I wasn't thinking about anything. Like, I've been reading a lot about creativity lately, and I think one of the biggest things I've taken from it is when you're in like a flow state or you're creating, you're not thinking, because it's almost as if like some higher power is working through you. And I think that's how I feel when I'm making my best shit. So I didn't think twice. Like, it might feel a bit crazy. I've never spoken to this guy, but I was just like, what's your number? Boom, call you. This is the whole song. I'm going to rap it to you live, and then send me a verse in one day. And like, that's when the best shit happens.
Hectic.
You know? So yeah, make shit happen. And like, it felt natural because of that, you know? So yeah.
And mate, for one hell of a story right now too.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You probably thought that your car was broken down or something. You're
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is it? Yo, call me now.
Who else
Call me
know
now,
Chris?
bro.
I'm down south and I need a hand, bro. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure his mate also, I seen Knox talk about this, but Knox said that his mate was like, you shouldn't do it because you're going to get bodied.
Oh yeah, I think because his mate was there, and like, to be fair, like, I went in on that verse, and I think even Knox, like, he was hesitant to send his verse because I think he just thought like, you know, like, far, like, I don't know if this is my best work. But then when I got the verse, I was like, far, that's crazy. And like, obviously we're our own worst enemies sometimes, you know, like, I've got fucking 60, 70 unreleased tracks sitting on my laptop that I listen to and I hate, you know, but like, other people might hear it and they'll be like, that's crazy. You know, and like, I'm trying to be nicer to myself in that respect as well, because I want the people that have supported me this far to be able to hear the stuff that I've made. So yeah, absolutely. Like, you got to back yourself and you know, like, get feedback from others and everything. And like, you know, if your friend says don't drop the shit, I don't know, don't believe them. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, Knox, believe in yourself. We love you. Come on the podcast.
Yeah, drop more music. Drop more music.
Come on.
Let's go.
Also, you talked about, you know, collaborating with Interstate People as well, and one of your big link ups on 3 tracks, I believe now. Babyface Mal, aka Miko Mal. Bro, we need more. We need.
I reckon, is it more than 3?
Let me think. What
Super-
do we got? Now we got
Superhero?
Superhero, Tramp, and Gumboots.
Gumboots and X Games.
Oh yeah, X Games.
4.
Yeah,
Four.
okay, 4.
Come on.
Yeah, nah. Obviously, like, Mal's crazy, bro. I think just to touch on him, I think most of the rappers in this country, if you talk to them either on or off record, they're gonna say they fuck with his shit hard. And I think like sometimes it just to me it feels like, you know, like he's an inspiration, bro. Like, I reckon he's sick, and like, not to fucking go too hard on it, but like, he's fresh. I like his beat selection. I like his lingo. Like, I like his sound, and I think he's, you know, a universal sound for the country. And like I said earlier, when I linked, he linked me with this like
Swedish dude.
With this Swedish, I think it's Swedish. I don't want to get it wrong, but he's from Geneva.
One of them
Sweden,
countries.
Right? Yeah. Anyway, he was like, his whole thing was like, he was obsessed with my beats, and he was obsessed with Babyface or Miko Mal's raps. You know, and I think like, when I hear Mal, like, he represents a community that maybe hasn't been like fully represented yet as well. So it's just good to see that shit. And yeah, like, obviously keen to work with him more. I've heard the track with him and Chill, it's crazy. So yeah, it's mad.
Yeah, look, Mal deserves more love and attention, and I think the day will come. It's just a matter of time.
I think his latest track's doing his thing, so it's good to see, you know? Yeah.
Shout out Mal.
Yeah, shout out Mal.
So outside of music, you also recently went back to university to finish your degree in electrical engineering. So what the fuck is that?
Electrical engineering. Shit, bro. How do I explain? Just nerd shit, bro. Like, it's actually funny. It has a lot of parallels with music and music production, but basically, like, any building with a light switch an electrical engineer was there. So, you know, I got that backup because like that's always going to be an industry, you know what I mean? But I think like as people can probably gather from the fact that I do all this different shit, like I'm a bit of a nerd with like, you know, I like doing academic shit. I like learning, you know what I mean? And I put it off real hard to do this music shit, but I think I just reached a point where I needed to switch that part of my brain on again. I felt a bit dumb, or like, you know, I felt like, you know, that part of my brain wasn't working. But also I think this music game is it takes a toll mentally, and you know, trying to not only be a musician but be a business owner, and you know, like push a brand at the same time. Like if you put all your eggs in that basket and it's not going well at a certain time, which it could be going great, but your mental's just not going well, right? Then that's not only your image, but it's also your money, it's everything. Like when you're up, and when you're down, you're down. And I think I just reached a point where I was like, you know what? I need something else on the side. So I decided to like go back to uni and keep learning, and just torture myself even more on the side of like already trying to run a business, you know? But yeah, like I'm trying to, bro, honestly, I'm just trying to get that photo of me graduated and just be like, this is for everyone that said I was a nerd. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Because like I want to be able to be like, I do this shit because I love it. And if I wanted to, I could go fucking be an electrical engineer and try and make squillions that way as well, you know. But
there's
I think
big money there.
Yeah, you know, there's big money there, and there's money everywhere if you apply yourself. And I think I just want to honestly just want to prove to myself that I can finish the shit. Because it's been a bitch of a degree, and like, you know, I'm here like trying to do like coding and shit. Like it's a crazy like sort of mix between the two worlds, but it's nice to be part of both of them, you know.
And more power to you for doing so, bro, because to be honest, man, like mixing with the music world, mixing with your life at this age and still going back to study, personally, I couldn't do it, bro. You know, keeping your mind in the game on that side of things.
I couldn't do it.
Well, you know, you got a family, you know what I mean? Like, you know, respect for that. And like, I think for me, you know, another thing that drives me is I kind of enjoy being able to break down like stereotypes of shit. Like, you know, obviously I'm at uni, and then people are like, what do you do? I'm like, I make music. Or like, I'm a musician, and they're like, oh, so what else do you do? And I'm like, I study shit at uni. So like, you know, not all rappers are like dickheads that just run around doing crazy shit, and not all uni people are like nerds that just sit in a laboratory all day. You know what I mean? Like people are multifaceted. People, you know, everyone's deep if you actually give them a chance. And I think like, I want to be able to express that in projects that I'm working on as well, you know, be able to put out projects that show like a diverse range of sounds and styles and emotions and feelings. Cause like at the end of the day, we all go through similar but different experiences in life, and life is a colorful thing, and you know, there's ups and downs and there's ins and outs and lots of changes. So I'm just trying to embrace it and then be inspired from that and bring it out in the music as well, you know? Yeah, so.
Oh, yeah, right.
Can you say something scientific?
Scientific. Bro, we did that Red Bull thing, and you were hitting me with the craziest shit.
Yeah,
on that,
bro. Neutrons.
Neutrons.
Yeah.
No, I can't say anything scientific. I haven't got that hat on right now.
Pussy. So a lot of people would have seen you on social media or live or whatever. They would have seen you on tour, doing big festivals, big stages, and they assumed that you would have, I guess, quote unquote, made it as a rapper. But like you just said, you know, you're back at uni, you're running the studio, you're doing producing, you're doing engineering, and then doing your own music output on top of that. So do you think there's a big misconception about how hard it is to actually kind of make it in music and make a living off this for a long time? You
That's
know?
so funny you bring that up. I was talking about this yesterday with my boy. He was on a job site, and he was talking to this young fella about rappers in general, and this young fella was like gobsmacked that we weren't all millionaires. I remember I used to work at when I was studying, well, I am still, but like I took a break. But before the break, I took studying, obviously electrical engineering. I spent a couple of years working at a switchboard workshop. So I was like on the tools and then a little bit in the office. And the funniest thing is, I went there the first day to get on the tools and look around the workshop. And the boss man takes me in, and he's like, oh, you're going to be working with Jack. And he introduces me to Jack, and this guy turns around and he's like, fucking nerve. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, in his head, I'm like a rapper, and then I rock up and it's like, yeah, you're gonna be fucking on the tools with this guy. And he was just like, what the fuck? And there were other dudes in there, you know, like that were asking me like, oh, I thought you would have pulled up in a Ferrari. And I'm like, what? Because I got fucking a couple 100,000 views on YouTube. That's insane, bro. And like, it's good in a way because, you know, people take you serious after you get some views. But yeah, bro, like the music game is like, it's not easy, man. You have to, you don't get, I've told people before, they're like, oh, like I want to get this rap and shit popping. Like I want to make some money. It's like, if you're getting into this for money, bro, like get into it because you love it. You know, the money will come. And that's the same with any passion. I've been told by creatives, like, especially when you go like full time, because obviously like now I'm full time with music aside from like uni, but like I'm full time. Like this is my career. This is my job. But like, if you get into it for the money, period, and not just because you love it and you live it and breathe it, like it's not going to go well. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's not as easy as it looks, but at the end of the day, like if you apply yourself and you got good work ethic and you do your thing, yeah, there's money in it and you can live. And I think if you throw yourself 110% into your passion, the universe will always provide. But it's a tough road in some ways. I think like you have to learn your own compass because there's not that element of like, okay, I'll do an interview and get a job here, and every time I come into work, I'll have a set day of tasks to complete. It's like, no, I wake up in the morning, and if I don't want to get out of bed, I don't have to, but I'm going to pay for that down the track when I'm not making any money, you know? So you have to learn discipline, like more, I think, when you're a musician and you run your own business and shit, you know. But yeah, it's not easy by any stretch of the.
There's way easier ways to make money.
Yeah,
Can
I like testify to some of the shit you say there? What people see online, they really take it at first glance. Like people will see me these days and be like, "You just kick back and talk to rappers all day, bro. That's your job, eh?" I'm like, yeah. Bro, I probably have to work as hard, if not harder, than some of these rappers just to find everything they're doing, because there's hundreds of them in Australia now just to get the word out there. Yeah. And I'm still working a job, bro. So like the music world in general, it's not just even being an artist. There's hard work everywhere to get around it, bro.
Yeah, and there's so much shit that people don't see, man.
100%.
And like, you know, obviously just before coming in, like I watched Chill's episode, and I, like, you know, a lot of that shit resonated with me because like people don't see the downs. You got to be on stage, you got to be the life of the party. No one wants to see a rapper get on stage and not be energetic. Like they want to see you be up, but you know, for every up there's a down. And like I've experienced that crazy, bro. You go do 3 shows in a weekend, ask me how I'm feeling on Tuesday, bro. I'm not going to want to talk about it. Like on Tuesday, bro, like it doesn't matter how good the shows went. Even if they went better, then I'm probably going to feel worse. There's you know, you're always like sliding forth and back, and like it's just part of the grind, man. And it's a lot of work, but it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's because I love this shit. You know?
That's it, bro. Yeah. If you don't love it, look. Yeah,
it won't love you if you don't love it,
bro.
You know.
And you mentioned Ferraris before. Let me just say to everyone in the audience that's looking at rappers in Ferraris, a lot of them are rented.
Most of them are rented.
Most of them are rented.
That's why I talk about Subarus. I'm trying to be attainable, bro. I might pull up in a Rexy one day. We'll see.
A lot of the clothes too. A lot of the jewelry too. You know what I mean? Don't just take everything at face value. And it's very, very hard to make it in music. In hip hop in Australia, especially, is very difficult to make it. So don't get disheartened by, like, you know, the fact that things aren't moving as quick as you can, because people with cars, that a lot of the time it's not real. So
yeah,
but put in the work and aim for it anyway, because the day can come.
The
day can come. The day can come.
And image matters. So if you do got to get a rental, do this.
It's all good.
You know what I mean?
Just blur the plates.
Hey, when Chill was on here, as you mentioned before, bro, he was saying that he doesn't want to be rapping in his 40s, bro. He said he wants to. Yeah, well, that's where we'll.
I resonate with that so hard.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm like happy to be a producer, because like who knows, I might get on some spoken word shit and be up there like doing like some mellow shit when I'm 40. But like, yeah, I think there's definitely a toll that being a front man or front woman or just being front facing in general takes on you. And I think when I'm 40, I'm going to be on some Mike Dean shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to be coming into the studio every day. And if I manifest this, my ideal morning would be get up, go to the gym, have a coffee, step foot in the studio, and there's some world-class talented artist there ready for me to help them make the best song they can make. I might co-write, I might feature, I might still be up there, but like I want to be on some Dre shit, and like I don't have to be front-facing if I don't want to. You know what I mean? I'll put in my 2 cents if I feel like it's necessary, but I really enjoy being able to make other people's music, elevated, or like, not to say that I'm the only thing that's going to elevate it, but I love just being a part of other people's journey. And the best thing about that is I could absolutely sit in front of a computer at 60 years old and help a young 18, 19, 20-year-old artist go big. But I can't be 60 in there being like, let me jump on a feature. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be in there. Like, I like being behind the scenes. I think I've got definitely like, there's two of me. One of them likes to be on stage, being the life of the party, jumping on cunts. The other one's like, chill. I want to be on my laptop. I don't want anyone to talk to me, or I just want to be working one-on-one with an artist and helping them get the best out of what they can. Like, so yeah.
Couldn't agree more, bro.
Yeah.
Well, you and Chill share the same sentiment. Do you think the rap is pretty much a young person's sport in this day and age?
I think. Well, you've seen Pete and Baz, bro. Not necessarily a young man's sport or a young woman's sport, but I think it is a genre that is heavily embraced by the youth, and because of how quickly it changes, you do need to be tapped in the way that the youth are tapped in. Like, the older you, like, I don't want to be 40 seeing what's trending on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be 60 trying to like do TikTok dances. Like, I want to be like, because at the end of the day, if an 18, 17-year-old artist blows up and they're going worldwide, eventually their music's going to get to someone who really knows what they're doing on the back end, mastering it, mixing it, getting it out, And I think like, I'm learning every day, and I want that to amount to something one day, And like, fuck, if I don't end up doing the music stuff, I want to be doing something else that I love as well. If I want to, in the future, I want to be directing videos, or I want to be an electrical engineer building a fucking underground railroad or some shit. Like, as long as I'm good at it and I'm passionate about it, I want to be doing that when I'm older. And like, I just want to be applying myself to something I love and working with people that I love, and just
hell yeah,
achieving shit, bro.
Come on,
Yeah, wholesome message.
Yeah,
but for real.
So you mentioned before that you've delved into kind of different scenes, boom bap, grime.
Yeah.
But I guess your most surprising joint was Wasted, that came out last year, which was very much on that alternative rock tip. So
Heavy.
What was it like dropping something so left field, and what lessons did you learn from that?
I had a lot of fun. With that joint, because I think that whole year I've been experimenting with other sounds, and I've been hanging around a lot of singers and like working on singing and melodies and song structure and stuff like that. And the song happened supernaturally. It came out of nowhere. I was in a session with the producer. He got in. Obviously, he's like, I'm doing a session with Nerve. I'll load up some rap beats. He played some rap beats, and I was like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling the rap shit right now. I think it was at a time where everything felt very saturated, and I wanted there to be a point of difference, and maybe I had writer's block, and I wasn't really feeling like, writing like punchlines and being like, out here being a cheeky cunt, like being a rapper, I wanted to like talk about like how I really felt, and we went up, like I had writer's block, I couldn't get anything moving. We went up on the roof and we just had a beer and just like sat in the sun, had a little break, and I was talking about Cat Empire, the Wine song. I don't know if you know that song, but like as a kid, like we had 3 CDs in the car when I was growing up. It was Cat Empire, Jet, and Ricky Martin.
Oh God.
So it was like Livin' La Vida Loca, Are You Gonna Be My Girl, and the Cat Empire. And the Wine song was like a big song for me. I was singing that shit. I didn't even like know.
How's that one go?
Like, it's I don't want to do it. I'll butcher it, but it's a 7-minute ballad, bro. Okay. It's a big song, and it's very Australian. They're talking about like, we fight the droughts with water that runs through the cracks, but I'd rather turn my water to wine, like shit like that, It's just a song about getting pissed when everything's fucked, but it's a happy song. Anyway, we were talking about that song, and then we just got back in the studio and just started writing, and then all this, we basically just wrote the song like in like 20 minutes, and it just came out, and then it just slowly elevated and got bigger and bigger, and I just wanted to do something that, originally, for anyone that knows the song, they'll probably be like, what the hell? Because the first edit of the song, it went from what it was to a drill beat. I flipped it into a drill beat like straight away, and then I was like, no, I'm going to take this away from hip hop and like do something bigger with it. And then linked up with Zach, did a crazy video, dropped it. I think one of the things I learned was like, as an artist, I wanted to experiment, and I think it's great to experiment, but it was also like, interesting because when it dropped, I was on all these rock playlists, right? And I was like, sick. I'm 30, like I'm getting recognized. I'm in the playlist. Paramore's after me in the playlist. That's mad, bro. I grew up listening to Paramore, like that's sick. But then like someone would listen to Wasted, and then the next song that comes up is Walk and Talk 3, and they're like, what wait, who is this guy? Mm-hmm. And like I think it was sick, but it might have been confusing for people listening, but I wanted to show versatility, and that's what I did. And I was happy with the song, and it also kills at live shows. Like,
bro, I can imagine that at a massive ass festival, bro.
Yeah, it kills. I was playing it for like 9 months before I even dropped it, and people knew the words because all I had to do was teach it to them before I started the song. And like, I played it. Shout out 111. They brought me out at Splendor, and I played it in front of like 5,000 people. And before the song, months before the song was released, I had people singing the shit back to me. So like I took a risk, and I think it paid off, and like I learned things in the process. But yeah, like being able to diversify and make other music, I just wanted to show people I could do it. I wanted to show myself I could do it, So yeah, that was a good experience.
Beast of a track, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Look, to finish up, bro, we're going to talk through some of the more iconic moments of your career. If you can give us a quick little backstory to them, or a little where your head was at the time, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We're going to kick off with the Get Body Brisbane show and the fallout from that, bro.
That was crazy. That was holy. I didn't even think about that. That was a crazy night. I actually was thinking about that recently because I remember like one of the sort of acquaintances, like friends of a friend that was there that night, because it was a long time ago, my circle's gotten a lot smaller, not for any reason, just because that's what happens when you get older. But I remember seeing this guy pop up on my IG, and I was thinking like, when someone pops up on your IG and you're like, who is this person? Like I follow them, and I realized that they just changed a lot because they got older. But I scrolled back and saw younger photos of them, and I was like, "Fuck!" I saw this dude get arrested out the front of the Get Body Brisbane show, because that shit was crazy. And I remember that was the first show after the Captain Cook Hotel show that Chill was talking about on the last podcast. And I remember he called me and he was like, we were all gassed from that show. It was amazing. And then he called me and he's like, yo, that shit was crazy. We're going big. We're going to do the Triffid in Brisbane, which is like 800 cap. Like that was inconceivable, bro. Like that was a crazy number to me. But at the same time, if you've seen the crowd from the show here, you'd be like, yeah, 800 people are going to rock up and see this shit. Bro, there's like 12 acts on the lineup that are like the shit right now, according to me at least at the time in Australian hip hop. And so, gig got set up. Everyone's out there. Same thing, like no managers, no bookers. It's just like straight like bare bones, like, homegrown shit. And we're at this big venue, bro. Like, the only people I'd seen there was like 30 acts, bro. Like, I didn't feel like any of us were 30. Like, they were like, big bands and shit. And it's like this crazy venue. It's a beautiful venue. It's built in like an old aircraft hangar. It's amazing. It's a beautiful venue. And tickets sold out pretty quick. And I think it was just after me and Chill dropped Where You Been, and he had a bar about ending up on the Channel 9 News, like because of a show. And the show got shut down by police. And out the front, out the front, shit was crazy because like the show got shut down. People started streaming out the front. It was a cracker show, by the way. It was a crazy show. And people were streaming out the front, and there was like 13 cop cars on the street. And it was one of those venues where like when you get out, there's not necessarily something to jump to immediately. It's a pretty quiet area. So people got out the venue, and they were like, what do we do now? There's like 13 cop cars here. Cops are coming up and antagonizing people, trying to like get them to do something to arrest them, like my friend. All he was doing was filming the cop's badge so that they could be like, all right, this is what the cop's doing. And then they just cuffed him, took him to the cop shop, man. It was bullshit. But I had just got one of them square reader things. And I was selling merch, and I was diverting people away from the craziness up there, and I was selling merch out of a Woolies trolley. So get your hustle on, because not only was I helping the people and stopping them from getting arrested and getting into a riot, I was also making money at the same time. So fuck yeah, let's go. But anyway, I just had like a bunch of mates running out there with a Woolies trolley being like, get your Nerve t-shirts, get your Nerve t-shirts. But like, yeah, it was a crazy night, and it was a huge thing because like obviously there was negatives, shows getting shut down sucks, and like the police rocking up and ruining everyone's fun sucks. But At the same time, you know, everyone heard about it.
100%.
And
For
the show's
years.
only got bigger from there. You see where everyone's at now, you know. So
What a
it was,
moment.
it was a crazy thing for the culture. And, you know, everyone that was there that night, like, it's kind of like, yeah, I was there. You know what I mean? Like,
For the
I
people
was
who
there.
don't know, tell them who was on the lineup.
Man, I don't want to forget anyone, but like, you know, as far as I remember, there was, you know, you had Chill, Husky, Mitchos, Lil Snow, me, Wombat, Scrub, like my other homies from Brisbane playing. I'm pretty sure, like, surely there's more, but like that was like key. Like it was a crazy lineup. Oh, you had 111.
That's huge, bro.
We had Flea.
I think Flea was there.
Flea was there, bro. I don't know if I'm pretty sure like it was like LG, bro. It was a ridiculous lineup, man. Like if you put that shit on at like RNA showgrounds now, you'd probably pack that shit out, bro. I swear, you know.
100%,
So
bro.
like it was a crazy moment, and it was like one of those moments where you really just had to be there.
I remember there was like the mass panic when the word started getting around, the cops are going to shut the show down. So everyone was handing the DJ the USB and being like, spin my track because I want to spit. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
they were like, there's 15 minutes till we're going to shut this show down.
Yeah,
so
'cause it was
everyone
like,
was just like chucking
get
the
it in.
USBs and being like, spin my shit. And this DJ's like,
Tough night to be a DJ.
yeah, I
bro.
think it was Bass or it was Juvie.
or
was-
Mac maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it was someone, but I was like, poor cunt. He's
Yeah.
got to spin like 7 tracks. And then I think everyone just ended up ciphering over one beat or something. Or
It was
I don't know,
crazy. It was
a whole-
chaos. It was chaos.
It was a
but
chaotic
it was
show.
sick. It was.
Did they film all of that?
I think it got filmed. Yeah, it should be on
that'd be-
YouTube somewhere
yeah,
if you
no.
look it up. Like,
But obviously early on, it wasn't one of those proper, we're filming every little thing that happens here.
No,
Nah, it
bro.
wasn't like
That was
that.
too early on for that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. It was just like, you know, get it done and
Yeah.
get it documented. But yeah, it was a moment for sure. It was crazy.
Hectic.
Yeah.
The next iconic moment would be playing the A-League Grand Final.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. That was like one of those moments I was talking about before, like imposter syndrome. I was like, I remember just like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, bro, you know what actually was the craziest thing? Performing was crazy, especially because there was like fireworks and TV coverage and everything. But I was so focused on just nailing it that I didn't really think about any of that. Watching it back was crazy, but the craziest thing for me from that night was meeting John Aloisi, like first thing. And obviously, if anyone knows me, they know I love soccer. I'm a footballer. That's probably why I got the gig in the first place. But he is the reason I started playing football, because he scored the penalty against Uruguay in 2005 that got the Socceroos into the World Cup in 2006, which was their first World Cup in 30 years. And that's why I started playing football, because I wanted to watch the World Cup. And I'm sure the same thing's happening now with girls wanting to play football because of the Tillies and up the Tillies, because that World Cup was fucking crazy. And I was like on the edge of my seat the whole way through. It was amazing. And it was a great thing for the country, a great thing for female sport, great thing for sport in general.
Preach.
But anyway, I remember I was like side of the field. I think I'd just done the opening ceremony, which should be the highlight because it's a massive thing. But, you know, you're at work. But I remember standing there and I was with my homies and I was like, holy shit, that's John Aloisi. And I remember one of them just being like, who's that? I was like, nah, that's fucking John Aloisi, bro. Like, he's the whole reason we're here, bro. And I was like, nah, I don't want to bug him. Like, same thing as when people come up to me, they're like, man, I don't want to be that guy. But I'm like, nah, come chat. Like, it's like, you know, you're the reason I'm here. But my friend was like, go fucking talk to him. Don't be a pussy, bro. And I was like, yeah, you're right. It's fucking, what's he going to do? And I walked up and I was like, John Aloisi? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, I just played the opening ceremony and I'm doing the halftime show. And I just wanted to say, like, you're the reason I play football. And he's like, and it was like out of a movie, because it's not like, it was the most classic shit to say. He's like, do you still play? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, good man. And I was like, you're a fucking legend. And then I got a photo with him and I was just like, I'm so happy.
Beast of an experience, bro.
Yeah, crazy experience. And like, yeah, it was sick. And then we got booted out before the end of the game. We got a bit
I've heard
too
stories
yeah,
about
we
this
got
in the background, huh?
we got a bit too ruckus. We had a corporate box and it was kind of bullshit. I don't want to get too much into it, but basically we didn't get catered. Like, we didn't have water or food. Like, I think legally, like, that's a problem. But like, we had a corporate box. Obviously, like, you know, we had me, Young Franco, TK all doing the show. So there was like family and friends. It was a big deal. It was a stadium show. The first time my parents had ever seen me play live.
Crazy.
And it was in front of like 30, 40,000 people at a final. So it was a big thing for me. And, you know, I had to put all the effort in to take the cuss words out of the songs as well. So, you know, because, you know, mumsy. But yeah, we had a corporate box and shit, but they just like didn't give us any food or drink. So like we, you know, we eventually got food and drink up there. And then, you know, in a sort of sideways fashion. And then, you know,
most discreet way to say it.
And then, you know, eventually like it wasn't even the end of the game yet. And like, you know, we got family there. They don't know how we got the food and drink up there, but we got it up there. And, you know, mum's there enjoying a wine. My sister's there. She's having a wine. Dad's there chilling. And then, you know, the security come in. They're like, what the fuck's all this about? And they're trying to boot us out. And I was like, you can take me, but like, don't take mum. Don't take mum. Don't take my sister. Like, leave them. Let them enjoy the game. So we ended up getting booted out. But, you know, I think one of us changed clothes and ran back in and grabbed the match ball before the end of the night.
Nah,
gave it to my dad.
Come on.
Yeah, so that was a funny story, and then we just ended up just like, you know, celebrating. So yeah, it was sick. It was
Good
a crazy experience.
bro.
It was a mad experience.
History things for
And
yourself.
Yeah.
that is the only time in history that TK Maidza, Posse Shot, and Nerve's dad will be in the same room ever again.
And Brad Strutt was
and
there,
Brad
bro.
Strutt, yeah.
Bro, that was actually crazy. Brad Strutt rocked up, and before I'd even rocked up, and I'd never met Brad Strutt, and Brad Strutt was there having a wholesome as fuck yarn with my mum, and I was like, what is going on right now? And like I met him. My mum met him before I met him.
Yeah, that's
and
funny,
that's
bro.
crazy, bro. So yeah, shout out Brad Strutt. Shout out my mum. Yeah, it was a crazy night. It was sick. It was sick.
History, bro.
Yeah.
Another big one that I still hear people talking about to this day, massive on YouTube, the Triple J Underground Cypher, bro.
Yeah, banger.
Yeah, look.
Banger.
What was it like being in that room at that time, and how look back at it now and see where all yous ended up, bro?
It's pretty crazy because I felt like the youngin' like in the room. I remember, I can't remember how many times we'd hit Triple J for grime ciphers up to that point, but that was a big one because that was really when grime was starting to pop off and everyone was starting to pop off, and there was like a strong scene and a strong group of artists that everyone was like, these are the artists that we're fucking with right now. This is the scene. And we were starting to get recognized by radio because the whole thing is like we were so underground. And then, you know, yeah, I'm pretty sure it must have been Hal that linked it up, and he's like, yo, let's get this popping. Let's get like a cypher happening and get it properly filmed and get it popping. And I was in charge of the beats, so I brought in this like little Roland thing I had with an SD card with like loop beats in it and shit. And yeah, bro, like jumping up there and going back to back with Husky, Chill, and Flea. Over all my beats, and I think we might have had some other ones, but I'm pretty sure most of the ones that are on there, I think we had to do like, you know, for copyright. So it was just all my originals, and like going up there and going bar for bar with them on my production and having the response it had, it's like, it was a whole moment, man. And I think like that was a big thing. It was a very affirming moment for us. And, you know, it's nice to even have you bring it up because I forget stuff like that's even happened sometimes because, you know, as you know, you'd be the same, both of you, I think like you're just looking at the next step forward, you know, and then sometimes you turn around, you look back and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe that happened. Like even just being able to say the last two stories that you brought up is crazy, man. It's nice to be able to, you know, to reflect on that. But yeah, being able to watch that back is mad. And like, it's so funny because like, I remember getting comments that I look like Otto from The Simpsons. I had like this big crazy hair out and shit.
It was
but
wild.
I think that was a tactical move on my part because I just wanted to be like, yeah, rappers can look like this, I guess. You know what I mean? Like I had this crazy hairdo going on and it's like everyone else has got like the clean cut shit. But, you know, even then, like I was trying to flex the beats as well as the bars and like,
happening,
and be
bro.
able to help, you know, like, because, you know, we didn't have any DJs, like at the time. It was just like, I just had my little thing, had my beats looped up, and I just made sure everything went smoothly, and then everyone killed it. So
That's
it was
active,
sick.
bro.
Yeah.
Dr. Flea, Alex Jones, if you're out there, come on Sky Sessions,
Oh,
bro.
bro,
We need you.
please,
We need you
Sky
on an episode,
Sessions,
man.
man.
Let's go,
And the
let's
podcast
go.
too.
Anyway, we'll get you.
Let's go.
And probably your most iconic moment, I would say, in your whole career the transition from long hair to short hair?
What a transition too, bro.
Huge transition.
Totally different
You're looking
man.
good, bro.
Yeah. I feel like, different man. Nah, that had a long time coming, and people asked me like, why'd you do it? And I was like, bro, dandruff, bro.
No.
I just couldn't be fucked anymore, man.
Didn't expect that answer,
bro. Like, obviously, like, you know, having a hair was sick, but it got to a point where I was just like always wearing a hat. Like, it just, you know, wasn't clean cut. But I thought that, you know, I got to make the most out of this. So we ended up shooting a clip, and I got an old lady to like shave the shit off, and I thought it looked sick and had to immortalize it. But, you know, I'm happy to be part of the show. You know, no one warned me, right? So I thought that I was lazy when I had long hair because I didn't brush the shit. I had long hair when I was a kid. Like, it got to a point where it would dread up because I just didn't wash it or brush it. Like, I was just too much of a grub, yeah? And I didn't realize when I shaved it that I'd have to get a fucking haircut every 2 weeks. That's worse, bro.
If you, as soon as these sides start coming in and you're like, I'm not fresh anymore, bro.
Even like,
fresh.
I'll be honest. This haircut right now, I'm very happy with it. And I'm going to continue getting this haircut every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm new to the short hair game. And even just looking back at the Paris video, I was like, fuck, that wasn't like the cleanest haircut I could have had. You know what I mean? Like, I got to improve on that. And so like, I'm still learning how to just be like a short haired man, bro. You got to get this, you know what I mean?
Such
like,
a serious topic,
yeah,
bro.
because it's like, you got to get the skin fade, this and that. And it's like, bro. Like,
and then you're scared of which barber you're going to. Can I just go to the same one? Oh, you got one?
I found a good one.
Bro,
I found a good one.
I had my barber leave me about 3 years ago.
Man, tell the ATO that's overheads, bro. Like, that's part of my work expenses.
Look,
I gotta look schmick to get up here and do this shit, bro. I'm gonna get that back on tax, bro.
My goal is one haircut a week.
One haircut a week.
That's my goal.
You know
I want to be in a position where I can just bro, can I get a friend who can just give me some kind of
even better. I seen a TikTok the other day. This guy had a mirror that like flexes around like that. He just does his own fade.
Nah, bro. The effort, I'd be so scared. I'd be bald every week, bro. I'd be bald every week.
Chill.
Yeah.
And also, never cheat on your barber. Never cheat on your barber.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Towards the end now, this is it, bro. What's coming next for yourself? What do you got on the cards professionally, personally? What's next for yourself, bro?
So obviously Paris is out, but you know, there's more to come.
Of course.
I'm not going to say too much. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but there's a lot more to come. Obviously, me and Chill have been talking about it nonstop on here. There's a lot happening there. His whole project has been fun to work on, so that's coming soon. Got some stuff in the pipeline with ECB.
Let's go.
Been running around doing sessions with all sorts of people. The other night, I was chilling. I looked on my laptop. I was like, fuck, I got like 60 tracks on here. Should probably put some shit out. So I'm probably going to put out a big tape, big something very soon. You know, I'm sitting on more stuff now than I've ever been sitting on, and I'm always sitting on something. So that's saying something. There's a lot coming. I'm excited. I want to start getting into doing clips and shit. I've been learning how to edit videos. Like, I just want to be, you know, everywhere, behind the scenes and in front of the scenes.
That's it, bro.
Just doing my thing, man.
Strap in for nerve season at some point. Oh, nerve life from here, right? Yeah. And also, can't wait to see the graduation photo. How many years we got left, bro?
Oh, bro, I don't know.
All right, we're not talking about it, but that day will come.
But you will see that shit, and I will have a middle finger up, bro.
I appreciate you coming through for a big chat. Hey, it's Nerve, it's 24 Karat Kev, it's your boy Wings, let's take flight. Yeah, we out, bro.